Yeah, I had to come back tonight, y'all. It's just been too funny. Um, I've been thinking a lot, with all the crying going on. It's kind of amusing, but this, I guess, would be the totality of the finale of this whole crybaby stuff, man. We're gonna really get down to it. We're gonna get down to it, Rez. It's funny, man, but I know. I know a lot of y'all are wondering what has legal came up with. Yeah, I done came up with some stuff, man, and to my surprise, it's too funny, y'all. I mean, a major meltdown, a major L for the complimentary meltdown, and I mean, y'all put a lot of effort into this, man. A huge. We have to give an applause to the conglomerate, collaborated effort of just being extremely dumb. And I mean, it went worldwide of just dumbness of epic proportions. I mean, the media, oh man, they just, I don't even know. I guess they're so used to just saying stuff off the top of their heads without thinking as well. But let's just get this show started, man. We've been laughing long enough. Let's go, people.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I got my man Dolanite in the building, the general of the Mighty Chat Pack community. I want to give props to my man Resident Gamer Zero for coming out with me tonight. I want to say thanks to everybody that shows support on the channel day in and day out. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're about, please. We always love to see newcomers come up in here and kick it with the Mighty Chat Pack. Subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Never miss a beat on the ones and twos. Get up on the stage with us, man. Hold this mic with us. Rock this crowd out. Leave some comments below. Share our video. And we want to salute everybody that goes international to make Di-RRec Gaming an international Dateline show. To all the real gamers around the world, welcome. This is the X League podcast. Now that we got that introduction out of the way, y'all, the effort, I mean, the effort to just make this stuff look pitiful, y'all, when you sit around and you just think about it, because that's what I got to do. I have to sit and think about it. Because listen, Di-RRec Gaming is not here to parade for price hikes. Let's just be honest and let's just be clear, right? Nobody's here to say, hey, listen, price hikes are great for everyone. No, they're not. I'll also say this. We are going through some rough times in our country. We got a lot of stuff going on politically, and there's a lot of mess that's going to have to be cleaned up afterwards. So people are struggling. People are trying to hang on to what they got to hang on. Food prices are up. Everything. I get it. Gas is high. All kinds of stuff. I get all of that. Okay. I get all of that. I understand we got tariffs going on. We got all this political stuff going on in our country. I get it. But as I push all that to the side, right? Because that's not what this show's about. We're not here on Di-RRec Gaming to talk about political stuff. We're on Di-RRec Gaming to talk about this gaming stuff. And also, you don't see nobody crying about the real stuff, the reality stuff that's going on in our country. There's no energy directed at that. But we saw people crying over a $10 price hike. And we know that people are going to be quick to jump in on Xbox because anytime there's negativity for Xbox, you got to cash in. It's the cash in moment. I get it. Okay, I get it. Let's ride the wave and let's bunker down. I get it. And let's just see, because you're not going to really get the real Xbox community to come in and be this stupid. You're just not. That's what I take offense. Like, the Xbox community has already built itself and put its 10 toes down on Game Pass. We're not talking about them because I'm in that category. My Game Pass is up. Listen, Microsoft can price hike all they want to. It's not going to affect me because my renewal, I'm not going to let my Game Pass get away from me to where my renewal. The only way it's going to affect an Xbox gamer is when the largest amount gets affected. And then they're like, what's legal talking about? Gonna get down to it. Don't worry. Because it's gonna be some funny moments here. The big exposure of all of this is to the ones who portray themselves to be these complete Game Pass cheerleaders. You know, the bad part about social media, we all know this, we've been talking about it, is how people can hide behind their reality. But it's moments like this that show you just how fake people can be. I can't fake myself out. That's why I said I get it. I understand the price hikes. I understand the issues. I said it. But all of that stuff can be happening, and you still don't have to be phony, goofy, and fake about any of this stuff. So let's just be for real for once, right? Because I can't get myself to be no crybaby. Because one of the models on direct gaming is there's no crying in gaming. So with that, let's get for real. Who's doing all this crying and why are they doing all this crying? If I've already exposed the 3%, then that means there's really nothing else to say. But oh, there is. The crazy part about all of this, y'all, is when you start to really dissect the matter and it gets very, very sad. Because I told you, you're going to expose yourself one way or another. Because we realized, right? We know, we have this understanding that only one of these deals went up. It's not like every deal of Game Pass went up. It's just this one deal that went up. And the only one deal that went up was the monthly one, the smallest one. That's what went up. And that's what got all this crying, this fake rage of tears. Because let's just be for real, people. When you go and you look up on Twitter X and you see people that go and buy Game Pass, right? And they show their pictures of the Game Pass that they get. Almost 10 out of 10 times. I've yet to see one that's not. So I'm going to say 10 out of 10. Almost, now I wouldn't even say almost. Every time you see a picture of it, it's always 3 months subscription. Now, why is that? Why is that? Because it doesn't really make sense to get 2 months of it when you might as well just get 3 months of it. So where are you going with this, legal? Oh, we're going to get down to it. I'm going to take all the air out of the room, people, because this is hilarious. Y'all going to really sit up on here for 3 days. We're going on 3 days now. And y'all didn't think somebody was going to figure it out and call y'all out on it? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop being so lame. If we're talking about deals, which is what's got everybody crying, why are you really crying then? Because you're not making any sense. You say the 1 month deal went up. Okay, cool. We get that. But are you one of these that just get it 1 month and then you decide not to get it again until another 3 months? Because let me tell you something. Game Pass games don't leave that fast. Game Pass games stay on Game Pass for a while to give people a chance to get around as to many games as they want. And Game Pass games do not reflect one certain class of gamers. They're not gonna, it's not built to reflect gamers that just like shooters, or gamers that like RPGs, or gamers that like action adventure games, or gamers that like story driven games, or gamers that like co-ops. It's a bundle, it's a mixture, it's a diverse service. And I'm going to try to be as fluent and as real as I possibly can. You guys can laugh. I'm gonna try to be as fluid and as smooth as I possibly can tonight, because this is sad. This is the difference between gamers and pretenders. These last 72 hours just shown that to the highest level, people, to the highest level. We're only talking about those who subscribe for 1 month. Okay, this is what we're bitching about. The 1 monthers that are a part of the 3%ers. This is sad. This is crazy. Okay, so for those that don't understand my terminology for 3%ers, you gotta watch the last show. We're not gonna go back describing that anymore, because I spent 2 previous shows talking about the 3%ers, that was funny in itself. But now we're gonna talk about this 1 monthers. These 1 monthers of Game Pass subscribers who are doing all this crying. Let's go back to the old. Let's go back to the old sale for, or the old deal for Game Pass Ultimate for 1 month. For 1 month, it was $19.99. All right. If you went 3 months on $19.99, it would equal out $59.97 plus tax, which is your 3 months today. $59.99 plus tax. So about $62, right? You walk out with 3 months of Game Pass. That's the old one. At $19.99 times 3, for all y'all get your calculators out there, it's going to come out to $59.97. Was Microsoft duping anybody? Nope, because that's exactly 3 months that you're getting now. Little more, take it for, if you get a little deal, a little less. But it's right there. It's right there. It's as clear as water. It's as clear as a fountain filtered water could possibly be. So there's no hiding that 3 months right there. That's the old version. Now think about it. The old 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate stayed the same. It stayed the same. It went up from 44 to $59.99. It's still at $59.99. The 3 months of Ultimate is still at $59.99. That didn't change. The only thing that changed was the $19.99 for 1 month. It went to $29.99. So let's take it like this. So you're saying that there's no deal. But wait, if there's no deal, then that means that you only pay for 2 months. Because the deal is when you hit the 3 months, not 2 months. So Rez, you can still hear me, right? Because I'm going mobile right now.
Yes, sir.
All right. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So look, they're crying over 2 months. If you look at it, in 2 months, this is where the big exposure is at. You're mad at 2 months, right? You're mad, even right now, right? $29.99, because I'm keeping you crybabies out of the 3 month equation. We're not even going to talk about the 3 month equation, because you're crying about 1 month. You're already letting me know your problem is 1 month. So 3 months you possibly couldn't be having, because if you was having 3 months, you would never be crying about this 1 month thing. You would be getting what we always see people get, and that's the
Yep.
3 months.
It tells us they're
Period.
1-monthers.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're 1 monthers. So let's just put it like this. Let's keep them right there. We won't even move from that yet. So I want everybody to do their math. Pull your calculators out. Pull your calculators out. And you're going to see the genius of Microsoft in them. You're going to see the brilliance of Microsoft. And this is why Microsoft isn't going to change their strategy. I'm about to expose all of this. In just 2 months of $29.99, guess what that price is? I know y'all already probably beat me to it and laughing right now. $29.99 times 2 is $59.98. Is that a deal, people? Yes or no? No, of course not. Why would you pay $59 for 2 months when you can pay $59.99 for 3 months? The deal would be get the 3 months and get 1 month free for those 1-monthers. But y'all thinking everybody's dumb around here in these gaming streets. Y'all thinking that nobody's going to put no brain, not one brain cell to this matter. We just all going to cry because all you crybabies are going to cry. But we haven't seen y'all around for a while. Some of y'all haven't shown y'all's face since Hulk Hogan passed away. Now all of a sudden, y'all done reemerged when you found out there was some bad news on the horizon with Xbox. The whole get-along game came running down the mountains. But you ran down those mountains just to run y'all's faces into that brick wall and expose the whole entire peasantry of gamers. Yeah, y'all a bunch of peasants, like the PC Master Race called y'all. Yeah, we're gonna go there because we're not gonna pretend like the word peasant hasn't been thrown around in these game streets for many years. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna act like Gamepass gamers weren't called welfare gamers. But wait a minute. The ones that are doing all the crying are cheerleading for the welfare gamer, the 1-monther. That's who we're crying for? The one that does the 1 month, but doesn't even stay on Game Pass for 3 months in a row? The one that does 2 months in a row? So let's look. Let's
That's
just
why we
go
don't
back.
listen to him.
That's why I don't. There you go. For one, nobody listens to that. But let's go back to the old deal. If you go to $19.99 times 2, right? The old deal for both of them would have been $44, right? For the 3 months, $44.99 for 3 months, right? For the old one was $19.99 times 2. That was at $39.98. So we're crying over $5. You are exposed. Your hypocrisy is ridiculous because why would you pay less for $5 for 2 months when you might as well just pay to get 3 months? $5 more. You see the deal? For $44.99, just $5 more will get you an extra month of Game Pass. Now I'm talking to the crybabies because the crybabies are out here crying over deals. So you're telling me you guys weren't never going in for the real deal anyway that saved you money. You wanted the $19.99 times 2, which gave you $39.98. Who did that when all you had to do is just get the $44.99 one and get an extra month? We're talking about smart consumers, right? Or is that what we're talking about, or what? I'm gonna let the chat pad eat y'all up tonight. Is that what we're doing? I mean, we're gonna pretend to act like we don't like deals now. We just pay by the cent, right? We get to the last penny and we're good with it. Well, the only reason we know that's a lie is because y'all did so much crime for the last 72 hours. So we're talking about deals, right? We're talking about savings, right? All right. So now let's talk about what happened now. Let's talk about what happened now. Now that I've already exposed the malarkey, right? The phony baloney out here, because nobody did that. Who would pay $39.98 for just 2 months when all they had to do was just pay $44.99? Y'all gotta stop it with y'all's the level of stupidity for gaming is at an all-time high now, man. And this is why I said I'm in the wrong era. This by far has to be the worst era of gaming ever in the history of gaming. is the last 15 years, man. The last 15 years is just pure trash. Pure trash. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's funny how we now know who's a part of the media wave. And it's the welfare gamer. It's the peasants. You guys came up with that name, not me. So the very people that you made fun of are the very ones that you parade around. Look at the hypocrisy. The very ones that they labeled are the ones all of a sudden they care about now. Look at the hypocrisy. When nobody was doing that. Nobody in their right mind would do that. There's no deal in that. That's dumb. You might as well get that extra month. So the 3 months of Game Pass has always been the strongest deal of Game Pass. That's why it didn't change this time. It's the strongest deal. It's the deal that's always made the most sense when you add things up. So let's look at it now. $29.99 still applies for that 1 month. 29 still applies for that 1 month, y'all. And like I said, at $29.99 times 2, it equals 3 months. This, you can't even, and I see the brilliance of what Microsoft is doing. And I would do this too. Because those 1-monthers are not consistent. You want to lock down your subscription. You want consistency. Who wouldn't want continual sales? Who would want a business where you're dealing with customers that come into your store every 3 months? You would hurt. You wouldn't make it. But you would love those customers that come in every week and get something out of your store. You're going to be so happy when you see them. They can have an error on a price or maybe missing a few dollars on a purchase. And you'll say, you know what? Don't worry about it. Have a nice day. Mr. Johnson, don't worry about it. I got you. You know why? Because Mr. Johnson supports your store. The consumer that's coming into your store that you see every once or 3 months, and then sometimes you might see him a week, and then you don't see him for 4 months. He don't get benefits from you. Who does that? Who gives benefits to the consumer that acts like that? And I'm talking about in the real world. Nobody acts like that. The 3-month card went up from $44.99 to $59.99. It's been $59.99 for the longest now. And when Microsoft just made this new flip, the $59.99 remained the same. It's only the 1 month that changed. The 1 month changed because the 1 month is not the one that is consistent. It's not the one that shows the deal, but you put it there anyway. Just like they're gonna sit here and act like Game Pass didn't have tiers. Remember when they had that $1 14-day trial? And then you had the peasants, right? To try to play that every time Call of Duty would come out. Oh, I'm coming back to get that $1 subscription. And they would get that $1 subscription. They play Call of Duty, get the campaign done, play as much multiplayer, and they quit. And Microsoft caught on to that and was like, you know what? Nah, we're cutting that one deal off. You got to go 1 month. You got to pay now. Used to be $1. They wasn't complaining about that $1. No, they wasn't. Now they don't have that $1. So now we're sitting at $29.99 for them, and now they crying. They're crying. But what are you crying about? Because if you just do 2 months of $29.99, you might as well pay the $59.99 and get your extra month. So you're admitting that you don't even do 3 months of Game Pass. So why are we listening to you? you are a non-factor. Who cares that you jump around on a service every so often? Business ain't gonna rotate around you. You expose yourselves along with every other lane that played into this game. And that's what's sad, because I know y'all are not this stupid. I know y'all not. Y'all are not this stupid, man. I ain't come out here to do this show to play with y'all tonight. This is for real. So look at this, y'all. Look at this. If you do the new term, right? I'm talking about these 1-monthers, right? If you look at it in the long run, you're still gonna catch an L. This is bad, y'all. This is bad, people. Okay? They're still going to catch an L. At $29.99 a month, right? Even if your best 1-monther would do $29.99 for 12 months, which would absolutely make no sense. But let's say, for the sake of their own stupidity, that they've been running around for 72 hours, anything's possible. So let's just say $29.99, they go for 12 months. That means that's 12 months, right? We get it. 1 month, 12 months, that's equals a year, right? Since we're on that basic Sesame Street level playing with these dudes, right? We got to go there. When you add that up, pull your calculators out, $29.99 times 12 is $359.88 a year. A year. It's a lot of money, ain't it, folks? $359.88. That's a lot of money. Now, we're talking about the 1-monthers. So why would I even think that they would even do that? They can't even do a $10 price hike. So why would I even think that they can do that, right? But I just wanted y'all to know that. $359.88. So let's look at it. Okay. That's 1-monthers. That's who we've been crying after pays that much. So let's go to the 3-monthers, right? The 3-monthers and above. The real Xbox community are 3-monthers or above. I'm just gonna let that be known right now. That's $59.99 times 4. Well, why did he say 12? Okay, dummy. Because we're talking about 3 months. There's 4 months in a season, right? Okay. All right. Every 3 months, new season. 4 times 3 is 12. This is. I didn't want to lose anybody since we're on basic math right now. So when you do $59.99 times 4, guess how much you're spending? See, the real Xbox fans are actually saving money. They only spend $239.96. You want to know how much you save when you're a real Xbox fan compared to a 1-monther? You save $119.92 plus tax. Who are they kidding out here? Is this what we doing? Are we hitting an all-time low of stupidity? And we're going to really act like gamers are dumb? When I've been saying gamers are not dumb. You're talking about a culture that I've loved since I was a little bitty since I was a child, man. I wouldn't insult this culture like that. Nor have you ever heard me say a console is a piece of plastic. If you ever worked on a motherboard before, and I've worked on a motherboard that controlled a $3 billion infrastructure. I've worked on those turbines all across this country. When they throw a fault, some of them have controllers where you can schematically work through it. And then sometimes you have to climb up 300 some feet and go up in the nacelle and work on that computer. Sometimes you got to take it apart. And if anybody that's ever worked with wiring before understands, you get the schematic book, you trace the wire all the way through the book until it ends somewhere. You learn what the diagrams say by the shapes. Everybody understands what wires look like on a schematic, right? It's just a line that's moving. That's what wires look like. You want to know what it looks like on a motherboard? Same thing. You want to open up a body, you want to see your veins? lines going through anything that has a flow to it, it's going to look like a line. Because even God, the great designer, the great I am, understood that when he created you. That's why you have veins in your body. It's to transfer things. Wires transfer communicational signals. Transistors, resistors, capacitors. There you go, A1. I'm hitting them. I ain't no dummy. I've been around a block. Where I'm from, I'm the only one that's ever achieved something like that. I'm the first. I'm the first wind technician of my whole entire lineage. And I'm proud of that. You think I learned how to become a technician overnight? I didn't even go to school from that. I was taught hands-on from some great people out there in that field because I wanted to learn it. So I learned how to read the books. I learned how to read the schematics. And you wonder why I dissect stuff, because this is what I do. You never ride the wave. Don't ever be a follower, man. No, hold on. Don't say that. Don't say that. You need followers. But there's a meaning to everything, right? To be a leader, you got to be strong in your lead. But to be a follower, you got to be strong in your deeds. So just because you're a follower doesn't mean you're not strong. Just be real about what you do. And we already put enough weight on leaders because leaders have to be in the front line. So you also know when you're messing with motherboards, or if you ever take something apart electronically, everybody knows that you got to put it back the same way you take it apart. That's how you put things back correctly. And when you're messing with high voltage things, have you ever had to open up a transformer before? You got to wear an arc suit. And you don't open it up standing forward. You got to take that stick, that arc stick, put it on your shoulder. You gotta stand like 15 to 20 feet away from that transformer because it extends that far. After you shut it down and let that thing de-energize, because you're talking about a substation where an arc flash would evaporate you. Your whole essence leaves no DNA, no nothing. You literally disappear. Only God knows where your soul went. There ain't a technology of nothing that man can make to find your whereabouts. Seeing a video of that will blow your mind away, of a person being vaporized. I've seen it. I used to, Dolanite. I used to. You got to do that thing backwards. So if that thing goes off and it hits you, you're going to fly forward. You won't go into it. You'll fly forward. It pushes you out. So that's why you got to be outside of its radius. And you got to stick that stick over there, right? You got to look over your shoulder, get it on that thing, and turn to unlock it. That's how you get into that de-energizer box. You don't go up in there at all. So what I'm doing right now, I'm going to give you a lesson on don't follow the wave, because fools die. If you see somebody that went in there, didn't de-energize something, just going into the touch, he's gone. You're going to go behind him, you're gone. The next person going to go in there, they gone. It's going to be a stack of vaporizations going on. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you have on your proper PPE. You want to protect yourself. And research is protecting yourself. When you open up that motherboard, you're going to see all these things on it. If you don't know what it is, you're going to be confused. You take things apart, mark them. You know what the left side of a motherboard looks like because you know the difference between left and right. So you L1, L2, L3. What I mean by one is where that first connection goes into. Two, next connection. And you mark those wire connections. So when you put it back together, you know that's L1, L2. It's just, listen, man. You do the same thing with everything. But here's the one thing that I love about electricity. Here's the number one rule. Stay grounded. Ain't that beautiful? Now apply that to everything in your life. Stay grounded. Because in electricity world, if you're not grounded, you're going to die. You're going to die. Now apply that to life. Look at all these people who just rolled the wave for 72 hours. Look how dumb that is, just to ride that wave. I want to be popular today. I see every other idiot saying something, so I'm just going to say something too. That's the world, bro. That's the world, bro. Now you just got you got the true definition of the world. There's only going to be few people that stand up and say something truthful. Only a few. The world gathers around in big crowds and tells a lie to itself. True people don't. True people don't have to stand in big crowds. The truth don't need co-signers. It never has. It don't need a million co-signers for it. The truth just needs itself. As a matter of fact, it'll stand on its own. So when you think about that, the real power of Game Pass was never in the 1 month. It was never in the 2 month. It didn't make sense. Microsoft was trying to get a smart consumer to see that and just say, hey, look, you buy the best values in 3 months. That's why you never saw anybody taking a picture on DIRREC or anywhere else showing you a 1 month subscription fee for Game Pass. You ain't see that nowhere. Because who cares if you only got 1 month? Who cares? Because if you did it 12 times, you overpaying yourself. Why not save $119 for the $59.99? If I had a Ferrari to sell you and it was the same model, same color you like, same interior you like, and I was giving it to you for $50,000 cheaper, why the hell would you pay full price for the other one? No one would do that. Okay. So we're not that dumb. We just want to be dumb. And just want to be dumb is worse than ignorance. So that's who they've been crying about. The 1 monther who, okay, wants to be smart and say, well, I go 2 months. Yeah, because he can't ever say he go 3 months. Because once he does that, what you crying about? That's why. Once he does that, it's no reason, there's no purpose for the cries. So that's why they stayed away from the 3 month theory with you for 72 hours. They didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to talk about the fact that the 3 month one didn't go up. You didn't even hear about it. All you heard was, oh, that 1 month. They kept you locked in right there as if the 1 month is really where the deal is at. Even when it was $19.99, it wasn't a deal. I just already exposed that. And it's not a deal now. It's not a deal now. The deal is in the 3 months and above. Notice, Ghost of Yote came out. The media didn't even talk about it. That's sad. The media, this era, showed everybody what's more important, and it's not video games. And then you wonder why the video game sector is at an all-time low. Well, they just demonstrated it to you. Emmanuel A1 in the building, man. Yo, Rez, read it out for me. Oh, hell, I don't know where Rez went. He must have went somewhere. Hey, look.
Thank you for bringing us the truth, New Legal. No one else is breaking it down like this.
I thought you disappeared on me, man. I thought you went to the restroom or something.
I had to unmute.
Appreciate you, famo. Appreciate you that. Appreciate you, Emmanuel A1. I appreciate you. Look, man, when you think about it, I'll let that sit for a while. I'll let that sit for a while. When you look at it, man, it's an embarrassment to the gaming community and to the gaming culture. But I told you guys, there's a difference between gamers and YouTubers and influencers. We are not the same. Just because you're an influencer don't mean you game. Just because you're a YouTuber don't mean you game. And just because you have consoles don't mean you game.
Knight in the building. Mike Johnson in the building. Welcome, fellas. Mike Johnson says, never walk into a hot box. Be true to the game.
Facts. I'm telling you, bro, this is sad. And you want to know what else is sad? I'll tell you the truth. Here's what's sad. We already know how this is going to end, right? We know that, hey, man, I hear you, brother. Let me tell y'all something. Rez got on here with me from a long days of work, man. So he's pushing it, y'all. That's why he's laying in the cut. He's up here to sit with me today. He knows I was gonna go in. I know he's came home from a long day's work, so I appreciate you, bro. Where was I? You can tell that gaming speaks for itself. Gaming is a showcase. You either are or you're not. That's it. Like I always said. You either gaming or you're not gaming. There's no in between. But a human being can't serve two masters. So either your YouTube channel you put before gaming, you as an influencer, and you want to talk all day on social media, you put before gaming. But real gamers put their gaming before anything else. It's gaming and then it's whatever. Real gamers understood what I did tonight. Real gamers already knew what I knew tonight. But this was me having fun about all this stupidity that ran rampant for no reason. Look at it. It did nothing. They really thought Microsoft was going to change their stance. Did Sony change their stance on y'all when y'all cried? No. Sony told y'all straight up they're going to do what they got to do for the business. We're listening to your feedback. We see y'all's concerns, but tears don't run a business. See, y'all have to understand that Sony's going multi-platform just like Microsoft. And let me be the one to tell y'all, this is what I was going to say. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. PlayStation is about to increase their prices too on their subscription. Don't worry, it's going to happen. Nintendo's going to do the same thing. Don't worry, it's going to happen. We are in a big tech era, like I told y'all. And technology is what's going to be the king this time around. And when new technology runs rapid, prices have to go up. Because why? These peasant gamers ain't buying games. So Microsoft is doing more than just throwing deals at us. They're working with partners. Realist was saying. They're getting all these collaborations together. They're getting all these partnerships together to bring a percentage down, to bring that 30% down to a 12%. Why is that important? Because that puts money into developers' pockets. And now they're able to build more games. That's the whole point. You build more games, you put more games out here, gamers will buy. When you're not putting that many games out here and then gamers don't buy, that hurts. Because when you finally put your game out here after it took 6 years to make, you throw it out here and it don't sell. That hurts. But if you're able to make 3 games within that time, one don't flop, one flops, one sells, one does okay. Okay. You looking good out here. Because this is all about the devs, right? We need the devs. Because if you don't have the devs, where are you going to get your video games from? So gamers and devs go hand in hand. Respect the devs that respect you as a consumer. I'm not saying you got to come out here and kiss every dev's ass, because some devs are assholes. We get it. We've seen them. But for the most part, most aren't. 95% aren't. Or we don't see it. And that's good if we don't see it. They're smart not to let us see it. But this coming out here about trying to attack Xbox all the time, like I said, we already understand it. Look at the difference. Look when Sony price hikes things, look how it just, the news just flutters over it. Because we already know who's running them. It's Sony anyway. Sony bought up the media. So why would Sony put money into bad news about themselves? That doesn't even make any sense. Notice how they sat around. Where was Brian McAfee all this time? Where was he? All of a sudden, you see Shaggy back out on the scene again, acting like he's this hardcore Xbox guy. I mean, it's Microsoft's fault that they pick these clowns, man. That's one thing. They pick them. I call it false advertisement. You pick these dudes, and these dudes can't even stand tall in your own community. That's messed up. Everybody can see right through these dudes. You got Denton out here worrying about if Xbox is being sold in Costco. That's the news we get from Destin. And now I want to laugh. You know what I'm saying? He's more focused on look, he's more focused on Xbox Series S and X not selling at Costco at the end of its life cycle. Now he's worrying about if a store is going to sell an Xbox. When Xbox is about to come out with another Xbox in 2027. Newsflash, everybody. Xbox is already on the end of its life cycle. It's on the end of this generation. Who cares if Costco's not going to sell any more Xboxes? I don't go to Costco to buy a damn Xbox. No way. Who cares? I've never heard anybody that I know say, I'm finna go get an Xbox at Costco today. Real spit. Just being for real.
Nope.
Nobody. Nobody. It's the most hilarious thing in the world. They're unattached because all they want is a clickbait response. They put those channels before gaming. Poor Ghost of Yote. A $10 increase got more news than Ghost of Yote. That's the era we living in right now. Can't make this stuff up, Reg. This is about people who subscribe for only 2 months. Rez, I'm going to give you the mic, man. Whatever you got to say, brother, come on in and we'll get this show on up out of here, brother.
So it's just funny that now you bring those set of facts. It just kind of makes things more clear. Like, who are the real gamers who want to support the industry and who are just the casual fakes who create outrage and drive narratives for clicks and for clout, and also just because in spite of Microsoft, just because they don't like the brand, right? I've come to accept that you cannot entertain those people anymore, because they were never that serious to begin with. They're never that committed. They were just looking for a cheap deal, and they had the greatest deal for the greatest price for the longest time, that at some point the values tends to outweigh the price in terms of once it gets to a certain point, they have to increase the price just because they're a business, right? They want to make money, and if they keep giving you more and more things on top of what you already are getting, I mean, it's just a kind of common sense given that they're going to charge you more. I mean, this doesn't make sense to me why people are getting upset. I think it's mainly because of everything that's going on that you touched on in the world with the economics of everything, and nothing's cheap anymore. Everything's going up, and gaming to them was kind of their side hobby that they could afford here and there. But now even gaming's becoming more and more expensive, and people are getting priced out, or they're just going back to retro gaming because, they usually already have the consoles, or they can just emulate or whatnot. And they're just not going to buy as many games, or subscribe, as long as they can, or not even for a month in some cases. They're just going to go to not playing games at all. So that's why they're getting upset, is because it was kind of like their one escape from the world and reality, and basically the corporations are telling them that if you want to escape, you're going to have to pay more, and that just kind of brings them back to reality, which is not what they want. So I think it's just a a collective aggression and anger that's been building up over the last year or two with everything that's going on with the economy. So I don't think it's just Microsoft, but this was just kind of like, for some of them anyway, not for us, but for them, like the icing on the cake, where it was just like the tipping point for them, where it just, this is kind of what they're doing now, is they're just unleashing their inner anger onto Microsoft and Xbox for doing it. Even though, if we think about it, the value they're getting now is just a very small slice of what's to come. There's going to be, we're talking Activision and Blizzard games, old and new, more first party day and date, more releases of other AA, indie, and other titles along with that. The still steady cadence of games every month. And there's always going to be a game that month you're going to want to be interested in playing. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, that's the same pull with movie subscription services, right? You look forward to that one show or that one movie every month that comes out on it. Sometimes multiple things in one month, depending on the release schedule. So it's doing its job, and it's doing it well, and it's very successful. And they're only giving you more and more. I just think gamers are so entitled, and they think they can just get whatever they want for the least amount, but that's just not the case anymore. I think Game Pass kind of spoiled people on it, to be honest with you. And now they're realizing that they're not getting spoiled anymore, and they're just acting like spoiled brats about it. You know,
Speak
just
on it, Raz.
not happy. But really, from what I've seen, I've seen some comments from some long-term subscribers, but my answer to them is like, how big of a deal is playing the games day and date for you? If it's not that important, why don't you just go to the premium or the essential? You know, you're going to spend less. You're not, the price didn't change. It's not going to change, and you get almost the same amount of services that the Ultimate has. The Ultimate's big draw is the cloud gaming and the day and date first party, and like a slightly bigger library. But if that's not a big deal to you, if you only play one or two games, or if you've been playing on the service for a long time, like, why cancel? Like, you're going to miss out on so much that's coming up, and you're getting your bang for your buck. I mean, if you go out and, just for example, you just buy one game a month, I mean, that's $70, right? So if you're paying for the premium or the essential, that's like $20, right? Or $15. I mean, that's the equivalent of 3 or 4 of those games almost, and you're getting all that in just 1 month. I don't know. I just think people are not seeing the big picture that we talked about last show. They think that this is all they're getting, and that Microsoft is raising their prices for no reason. No, they're not. They're building this towards the next generation. They even said it. This is something me and Legal have talked about, like the hybrid, the console, the Ally X. That is a a taste of what's to come. Like, that's the beginning of this next generation. This is the flexibility with the Play Anywhere we're going to get on top of a huge library of games from multiple publishers, which, by the way, no other company's doing right now. We're talking like almost every major PC storefront and publisher will be publishing on Xbox and on Game Pass with some. I mean, that's just not, there's no other company that offers that right now for games. Like, and if you're really one of those people that only buys one game a month, or maybe one every 2 or 3 months, then you're better off just not using Game Pass. It's not for you. I mean, it's clear, right? Like Phil even said, it's not for you. Maybe the $20 was a sweet price point where it wasn't that big of a deal, even though you only play 1 or 2 games. But like I said, they could still stick on those other 2 tiers. Like, I think a lot of this is just, you know, frustration, and also just kind of an inner hatred that they have towards Microsoft, and just their fake outrage and just making a big deal out of nothing. when really like they're just kind of misleading people by thinking that this is happening to all their price points, that they didn't come up with 3 different tiers with 3 different options, which, Xbox and Microsoft, they're all about options, right? And variety. And they've never had the release party cadence they've had this year. And going forward, they have a calendar set up already until 2028, I believe. So there's no slowdown in games, and you're not just getting the games; you're getting all those rewards and features that come with it too. I don't know. I just think people are making too big of a deal out of this. Just need to relax, or just unsubscribe. Like I said, if it's really not for you, just stick to buying your 1 or 2 games, and that's it. You don't have to subscribe to the service. I don't know why people are getting so angry about it. If you really weren't that committed to the brand or committed to Game Pass, then why are you making such a big deal out of it? This is kind of contradictory, right? That's what
And
I
I'll say
feel.
this, and I'll say this: how many days of crying, of massive crying, do you think a company would allow itself to go through if it was that many people actually canceling their subscriptions? Right?
Okay, I
You're
will
going off of
say
what
that
you're going off of
the
what you
Nintendo,
see, right? You
I
you
would say
know
the
when it's
Nintendo Switch 2 is probably pretty close. People were really upset about the price point of the console and the games of Mario Kart World, and the lack of first party support. People are pretty mad about that, but nothing still comes close to the amount of hatred and vitriol and narratives and negative articles that we see about Microsoft
exactly
and
about
Xbox.
Xbox. It's
Yeah,
That's the funniest part of it all, man. They make themselves so known as funny as hell, man, right? Because we knew
they show their whole
I
ass,
it,
famo.
right, their whole ass, man. Look, I saw the Switch 2 an inch away. I ain't have to look a mile away. It was right there. I said, look, man, anybody in their right mind that's a fan of the Switch 2 are going to go out there and buy that damn console, right? They're going to buy that console. Now, what I didn't know was that the Switch 2 was going to be their all-time record breaker. Didn't know that. But I still laughed and said, you know what? That was the fanatics. So you got 5 million to 6 million fanatics right off the top, 5 to 6 million right off the top. And I will even go as far as to say Nintendo probably has a strong 20 to 30 million fanatic, you know, fan base. I would even say about 30. I wouldn't say 20. I'll say about 30 to 40 million. That's going to be there. In order to have 160 million, and let's apply the Switch, because the Switch sold almost 160 million consoles off of gaming alone. It wasn't no movie theater, it wasn't a VR headset, off a console hybrid alone, mobile to TV dock console, console gaming, mobile gaming alone, gaming. For that console to do that, very impressive, because even the PlayStation 2 didn't even do that, right? Now, you think that the Switch 2 is going to do that? I would have bet it with against you on every roll, because we know that Nintendo won't invest in that technology. And I called it. It was easy. That the Switch 2 prediction was just too easy. Now it's too high. The games are too high, and you're basically getting nothing now. You're getting a bunch of remasters, remakes. That's what you're getting. You're not really getting new games for the
Sony
Switch 2.
2.0. Yep.
Yep. So now I not say Raz. I said Raz. Let's give it to December. I'll even be fair. I'll give it to December's and watch when those fans get through buying it, and you get to the independent gamer. That independent gamer, I said it. They're gonna walk up there and they're gonna say, "Okay, let me see this. $450, $500. Okay, well, what games do they have?" They're gonna say, "Well, do some of these games play on the Switch?" The minute they say yes, that's it. You lost the independent gamer. Oh, so you mean I can play these games on the Switch again? Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just get it for the Switch. because that price point went too high. Look at the Switch now. You don't hear nothing about no Switch 2 sales, nothing. You don't hear about no Switch 2 game sales of nothing. Nothing. You don't hear. Absolutely, it's quiet out here on Nintendo side. We just got word Bowser just stepped down. It's gone. Bye-bye. Gone. That's not good news because they know, they realized they done messed up. And I told y'all before it even got out here, I said, all y'all keep coming up with this same lame sentence for Nintendo. And this is what many people said. Oh, it's Nintendo. People gonna buy it anyway. When I hear that sentence, this is what I know, that you must have not been around for a long time. Because if you think Nintendo can't mess up, then you just got here. You just got here. Because that Wii U, that GameCube, those two bad boys hurt Nintendo real bad. See, Nintendo didn't know just how well that Switch was going to sell. That Switch saved Nintendo. That's the truth. Saved Nintendo. And Nintendo told everybody they would rather shut down their whole company than to give Mario away to any platform. So we already know the mindset of Nintendo. Like Jim Ryan, they walked them out. So we already know how this chapter is going to end. So like I said, I've already, before the Switch 2 even got here, what I tell people, don't bring the Switch 2 up to me. I don't want to hear about it. Don't even bring it up. It's not even going to be in this ring. It's not even going to be in the ring. And I was right. So I still keep the Switch 2 over there. Now we're talking about the new Xbox and the new PlayStation 6. That's what we're going to find out. And Sony has already let their fans down a little bit by saying, oh, well, you know what? We're going to try to be price budgety. So you already know that they're not going to be serious. They're going to play it safe. The one that's going to bring the hotness, we already know now. The one that's going to make gamers' heads turn, we already know now. You think now that $30 is a big joke, right? Y'all, whatever. Like I said, don't let those Activision games flop on Game Pass. That's going to immediately shut everybody up. You're going to start seeing all those articles. This was the right move. And this was, shut the hell up. It's still $30, bro. Whether you thought it was a deal or not, it's still $30. So were you able to pay it then? So shut the hell up. Doesn't matter. It's still $30. If they do that, that's what DIRREC Gaming said. DIRREC Gaming said $30 would be the limit. You put those Activision games on there. You get you one other platform connection, which by now, right now, to be honest, Microsoft's got 3. Now they got Fortnite. Now they got EA, and then they got Ubisoft. Well, I mean, gamers today, man, I don't know what kind of planet they live on, Rez, but it's like they don't, the reality in their mindsets is warped, man. You're not even getting that nowhere else, like you said. Nowhere else. 400 plus games. They're talking about 75 day ones. Yeah, whatever, man. Y'all can miss me with all that second grade shit. If you're not here to be serious about gaming, just admit it, man. Be real. Now, well, for me, I only play, 1 or 2 games. Okay, then. Shut the hell up. Why are you jumping in this ring acting like you got something to say? If all you play is 1 or 2 games, we're talking about video games. We're talking about gaming. That's like somebody who plays walkthrough games jumping in a multiplayer game atmosphere. You got these gamers sitting around here talking about all this competition, and you bring your 2 cents in here talking about God of War or something. You don't belong in this conversation. Get the hell out of this conversation. We're talking about gaming on a gaming service. And y'all talking about only buy a Game Pass for 1 month. Why are you here? This is not about you. This is an A-B conversation. You can see your way out. This ain't about you. This whole 72 hours, the decision what Microsoft did wasn't even about a 1-monther. Didn't y'all not see that? This is about those who are serious about Game Pass. These 1-monthers, man, if you had a business, you wouldn't put all your stock into them. You wouldn't do it either. It makes no sense to do that. It makes no sense. IGN wouldn't do that. If they put out an article, right, and they knew people wouldn't click onto their shit until every once or 3 months, and then they see in another area that they get clicks every single day, where you think they're going to go? This is common sense. They're going to go where they get clicks every single day. Damn. If somebody was just giving you money, we'll even go that much. If somebody was giving you money, would you go with the person that gives you something every 4 months, every 5 months, every 3 months? Or would you go where they give you something every week? You're going to go where they give you something every week. That's common sense. Like, I don't care about false advertising, even with emotions. A lot of people do a lot of false advertising with their emotions, man. And Rez, this is one for the ages, bro. This is one for the ages. This is a low moment. Right. And I've laughed for the last 2 days. I'm not laughing today. Right? You can laugh, Rez. Chat pad, you can laugh. But this is a low
Jokes,
moment.
man, because we've seen the
Yeah.
same old story over and over again, bro. It's the same thing, but it's
Same
different,
thing.
different narrative, different story. You know.
Yup. So we didn't want to come up here and be too long tonight, y'all. I just want to come in here for the last time. I'm not even going to speak on this anymore because a lot of people expose themselves. A lot of people. So I'm going to say this again, man. If you're about this thing called gaming, then your stats will show. You know, that's why we have stats. That's why some people are considered good. That's why some people are considered great. And then you got some that are considered all-stars. And then you have some that are considered superstars. And then you have some that are considered champions. And then you have some that are considered Hall of Famers. There's levels to everything, y'all. There's levels to this shit. You want to sit up here and bring your 1 month talking to people who put more money into something to get a better deal? Then that's you. Just know that no one cares. No one cares, bro. You got nothing but fakers backing you up. Because if it was real, like I said, if this thing was real and it was really hurting Microsoft, Microsoft would change the deal. And if they change the deal, still doesn't hurt those who put in on Game Pass. It just goes back to how it was. You're still fronting, acting like you doing something. That don't change. You're still a 1-monther. Still paying for something that makes no sense. You still not getting the deal, right? Because I just broke it down. You're still doing that. So I waited. Well, let's see if Microsoft will change. We haven't seen them change. Must not have did that much damage. There's a whole lot of fakery going on around in these streets. Expose themselves, man. You know what Microsoft needs to do? You're right. We need just some donkey skins. We need to get the donkey on Fortnite, man. Get some donkey skins with a PS blue cap for all the capping they do, and we'll have some fun. That's facts, Dolanite. We need to do something because A lot of these clowns couldn't even speak the language out here. It was so easily to see that they didn't even have an Xbox. They were saying some dumb stuff. Like, bro, what are you talking about? It's too funny, man. Y'all are funny. We gonna get out of here, man. Listen, man. We come here to do one thing and one thing only. And that's to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us gaming. I got my man Resident Gamer Zero in the building tonight on the ones and twos. I got the Mighty Chat Pack forever flaming these fake gamers out here, man. To and fro. Hey, man, if you're a real gamer, man, we salute you. No matter what continent you from, and no matter what flag you throw up in your states, man. We salute you if you're a real gamer. But this show is all about Xbox. And if you like Xbox, come on in. If you don't, come on in. If you want one of those who are here when we go live, we salute you. If you're one who watches from afar, we salute you. If you're one that waits till the show is over and watches after the show, we salute you. And if you're one that just keeps hating just to be hating, we salute you too. It's nothing that you can do that can falter DIRREC Gaming. We are here. Hey, man. We here to put streets back in the game and the gaming back in the streets. I don't want to see nobody tucking their chain being an Xbox fan. If you out here tucking your chain being an Xbox fan, throw your Xbox away. You ashamed of being an Xbox fan? Don't let DIRREC Gaming see you. Don't let DIRREC Gaming see you, man. You out here tucking your chain to fit in with a bunch of donkeys. We doing out here, man. Stand tall, stand on business, man. Stand on that YXBA, man. The hell out of here, man. Fake representative. Hey, yo, listen. Keep your extra man, bro. Don't let nobody take your second chance in life. Everybody deserves a second chance, man. Hey, yo. Keep it gaming and always keep it gaming, bro. Always keep it gaming. Don't get personal. It's just video games. You either gaming or you're not. I go by the new legal man, and I'm here representing DIRREC Gaming. I'm with my homeboy Resident Gamer. Shout outs to Realest One. Shout outs to Spar 117. Shout outs to Games Heroes. Man.
Shout out.
Shout outs to the whole crew, man. We here and we about to get out of here. Yo, Rez, I'm loading up the spaceship right now, man. Let's go, man. You know what, man? Let's go to Barbados, man. Forget it. We're going to get out of here, man. We're going to get out of States for a minute, y'all. We going to the beaches, man. We out of here. And I see y'all next time, man, on the flip side. Y'all stay cool, stay blessed, and see y'all soon. Peace.